Hey, Alexus, Beauties, and Flawless Men. Welcome back to part 11 of what I learned from. So, we have been doing this series where I just talk about the different things that I learned from people, places, and things. And today, we're going to talk about what I learned from children. So, this shirt says that the world needs all kinds of minds, and it has a autism stamp right there. I got this from Walmart. I really don't know what it means. I'm going to do my standard research, and I'm also going to leave an article in the community section so you can read that also to learn more about that. But I got the shirt because it was just really cute, and I believe that as well. The world need all kinds of mind. So it doesn't matter, what a disability it may be. It doesn't even matter if you're a child. The first time I seen that the Lord used a child was in Jeremiah. He came to Jeremiah as a child and then told him to go and tell a whole nation of people that they were just full of whores. And I'm like, and Jeremiah was like, okay, but I'm just a child. And the Lord was like, don't say you're just a child. I knew you before I created you in your mother's womb. So that's what we're going to talk about today, the wisdom of children, because they are very smart. 10 things that I learned from children. Number one is don't be nice to everybody. And you're supposed to be nice. You're supposed to be respectful. You're supposed to love everybody. But it's something about a child to where when you pick somebody baby up, if they crying and they only crying when you have them, I think it might mean something. It means that they're sensing something that may be deep or personal, because children are pure. And especially newborns, they have just came from the spirit realm, so they can sense a lot. So children have a lot of discernment. So they're just not out here just being nice to everybody. Like, they have this guard. They have this barrier that protects them, from not talking to strangers and different things like that. So the number one thing I learned from a child is do not be nice to everybody. I mean, you get it in a context of being nice. You're supposed to be nice to everybody, but there is supposed to be a limit to that. You're supposed to be vigilant. Children are very watchful. They pay attention to people's energy and vibe. And if they feel like somebody is off, you might think this your homegirl. You can brought her around your daughter, and then your daughter is like, she's not really that nice. It's because she can sense something else. It could be that you're not really good friend to her, or she might know something else. So we do not want to play children because they are very wise. Children are sometimes even wiser than us. So let's just keep that in mind. Don't be nice to everybody. That's what I learned from a child. Number two is to question everything. As a child, you're often told to not question, you need to stay in a child's place, different things like that. But if we take away that wisdom from them, the curiosity from them, then this is where they go and find it elsewhere in the world. So now you have this child and they're grown up because you couldn't answer their questions. They're going out, every under high heel. I be having to refer Jeremiah because he was straight fooling. If you don't answer the questions of these children, like, hey, mom, what's a boy? And this girl, she's going to grow up and she's going to go out there and she's going to find out what a boy is. Then it's just going to take them through a strong delusional lifestyle. So the things I learned about kids is always ask questions. Even as adults, we've been told that in church, don't ask questions. But if you don't ask questions, then how are you getting the information? How are you getting the wisdom? Children are going to ask questions, and, I be trying to be rude when I be around other people, kids, but when the kids ask a question and somebody be like, y'all need to go sit down and stuff, I be ready to answer the question because they know. And we just think that we're looking at it like their age, but wisdom doesn't have an age. It doesn't have a number on wisdom. This is why the Lord told Jeremiah, go and tell them what I'm going to tell you to say, and don't be afraid of their faces. So, well, if your child or somebody as a child is asking a question, answer the question with, the level of, based on their age and what they can understand. But a child is not going to ask a question if they don't want to know the answer. So the second thing I learned about children is always ask questions. Even as an adult, always ask questions, because that will get you further in life. Number 3, stay near a protector. I learned that about children. As a child, they stay near to their parents or somebody in their family that they know. They're just not out here running around trying to be around people that they don't know. And when they do go out in public and they're playing the different things like that, they still know where to come back to, who to come back to. They know who is protecting them. And as an adult, we know that God is our protector. So the thing I learned from a child is you always need to stay near someone that's going to protect you. As an adult, God is going to always protect us. And the Lord wants us to get back into that mindset of being a child. Like, even in this grown body, being a child is very significant to God because He's able to teach you, and we're just because we're grown, we have responsibilities. We're still supposed to be happy and energetic and doing the things that we were doing as children, but we done got so far off to where we don't even feel like we deserve to do those things or go outside or go to the park and different things like that. All of us still have an inner child, and that inner child is supposed to be living out of us in a good way, but we see that inner child has been just toxic and different things like that. So the inner child is living out of us in a bad way, but we have to get that back to a point to where we're living happy and we're living free and we can trust God. So the third thing that I learned about a child is they're always going to stay near somebody that can protect them. And as an adult, we're going to stay near to God because He is the only one that can protect us while we're living throughout our child life experiences. The fourth thing I learned about children is to be grateful. Children are never really ungrateful. It's the way that you train them. Like if you give them a certain amount of something, they're going to expect that. So you can't always, I be trying to say this all the time, you can't you can't buy this kid J's all the time. You done bought this kid J's since from 0 to 10, and then when they get 11, now you're trying to buy this child Nike. The child is not, now you're going to be like, oh, you're ungrateful because you can't even take the Nikes, but you put an expectation on a child, something that they live up to where, no, they probably don't want no Nikes, but children are always grateful. They never really change their mind or anything. They're not ungrateful until you start changing things. So the fourth thing that I learned about a child is they're always grateful. That's good advice for us as adults, to just always be grateful. Children are grateful of the small things. It doesn't really matter. They don't even be knowing what's going on. They don't even be knowing the difference between J's and Nike until you bring it up. So they're always grateful. They're always loving. They're always kind. They're always gentle and just patient. That's the fourth thing I learned about a child, just to always be grateful. The fifth thing I learned about a child is to just always be happy. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be worried about. We get these things and these anxieties when we grow up because we have bills and other responsibilities, or we have children. But somewhere deep down inside of our core, we are happy. We have to be happy. That's what I learned about a child. Always be happy. Like, and I see people out with children and they're trying to like make them feel a certain way because they're happy or they're having a good time. And a person is like, you don't need to be doing all that. Like, why are you acting like that? It is not fair. They're acting out the way that they feel, just being happy. We cannot steal children's innocence because something has happened to us, or where our happiness has been stolen, or we've been silent. We see what's going on with the children of generation. We have to protect our children. A child is just that. They're just a child. They're going to be happy. They're going to play. They're going to jump around. It's just in their nature. So please be careful with, seeing a child happy and you're trying to remove that happiness from them. Learn them, ask them, and definitely learn from them. Because I definitely learned from my niece, and it's actually wild. I wash my hands before I go in the refrigerator, but she caught me doing this probably when she was like 4. And as soon as I had came from outside, I washed my hands, but in the kitchen sink. And she was like, TT, you supposed to wash your hands in the bathroom. And, at my grown age, you would think that, yeah, you're supposed to wash your hands in the bathroom. You just came from outside. The kitchen is a whole sanitary location. But I learned that from her. And every single time where I come from outside and I think I'm finna do something with some groceries or something, I put the grocery down and it just play in the back of my head, TT, you're supposed to wash your hands in the restroom. I learned so many different things from my niece. I learned direction from her. When we went to Frankenmuth, she was telling me, like, don't go down that road. And I went down that road anyway. Like, girl, I know where we going. And then, boom, we done ended up somewhere else. So it was busier. We couldn't go through. And she was just like, TT, you're not supposed to go down that road. So we just have to listen to children because they know what they're talking about. They get their wisdom from God. They're more pure than all of us. So they know what they're talking about. The Lord does bless them with wisdom as well. So we cannot play with them like that. So the sixth thing I learned about a child is to be respectful. So my niece, even though she, has been correcting me, I've been accepting of that because I used to be stubborn. I don't listen to nobody, especially not finna listen to no little human. But I'm so glad that the Lord has given me a heart of flesh because now I can listen to a little human because they are wise as well. They have their own wisdom and the Lord has His hand on them also. So, when she tells me things, she's being respectful. She's not being a fast little girl like people say. She's not being disrespectful or anything. She politely said, She stood right there and she was like, TT, you're supposed to wash your hands in the bathroom. And I received it, and it wasn't no type of disrespect or nothing. So that's why I received it so well. I haven't had no disrespectful encounters with the young lady at all. Even when we were out and she was like, TT, maybe you should go that way. And I was like, oh, baby, I got it. Like, I know the route. We finna go this way. Even when we went the wrong way, she still was like, TT, I told you we should have went the other way. Just still being respectful. Children are respectful. If they are disrespectful, they're getting that from the people that they are around. If they're running their mouths and doing and saying things that is inappropriate, they're getting that from the people that you trust them being around, and then it's coming out of your own household also. For the most part, children are respectful. I learned that about children. They're very respectful. They don't have any other reason to be disrespectful. The seventh thing that I learned about children is they're always pure, they're always innocent. So whatever they're doing, whatever they're saying, is always coming from a place of innocence, a place of purity, a place of not knowing. Children depend on us to actually teach them things. So if they're doing something that's inappropriate, like I said, they seen it somewhere, they seen somebody else doing it, they seen somebody else talking about it. So you can't now beat the child, like whoop the child because they done said a cuss word. You have to get to the root of that, saying, hey, that word, where did you get that word from? Or who was saying that around you? You just have to know that they're being pure and they're coming from an innocent place, and they're so impressionable that they are displaying the things that is grooming them, the environments that they're in. So always know it's just a level of patience that we have to have with children, because they are pure, they are perfect, they don't know right from wrong, and that is our responsibility to teach them. We do have to calm down with the attitude and being so quick to whip children. I don't do that. We should be able to just speak to them, because like I always say, whooping children is another form of an abuse. We'll get into that later, because there's a lot of different things that is abuse that we socialize as normality, and it's not. And whooping a kid because they said something that's not normal to be whipping them, that causes problems later on in life. For the most part, anything that a child do is pure and innocent, and they are displaying the behavior that has been around them. The eighth thing that I learned about children is they're always going to have fun. They're always going to have fun. It doesn't matter what they're doing. They can be taking a bath, they can be watching TV. They're always going to have fun. They're just happy little creatures, happy little humans, and that is just pure. It's pure. It's good to be happy. It's good to just have fun. To a child, anything is fun. Anything is fun. It's fun to get dressed. It's fun to go outside. It's just fun. We don't know how to have fun as adults, because we just probably don't know how to do that. Some of us just feel like we got to be doing this to have fun, and we got to be doing that to have fun. To me, anything for a child is having fun. Waking up in the morning is fun. That's how we should start looking at it. So that's what I learned from children. They're going to turn anything into fun. You might be having a bad day, a stress day, the child coming and jumping on you, loving on you, trying to have fun with you, and then if you're not in the right mindset, you're going to whoop the kid or get an attitude with them. But if you're in the right mindset and you're not really feeling it like that, the kid jumping on you, having fun with you, is actually going to uplift you. Children, some way, somehow, it doesn't matter what's going on, they're always going to have fun. The ninth thing I learned about children is that they are cheerful givers. Now, sometimes children don't be wanting to, give certain things like their special toy and things like that. For the most part, children do not have any problem with sharing things as long as they have enough, as long as they feel like they'll be able to, provide for themselves. And that's the one thing about children. They love themselves. They definitely love themselves. They're going to make sure that they take care of them. Then they're going to take care of everybody else. So that's something that I can learn from a child. Like, okay, I get what you're saying. They are cheerful givers. They're going to make sure that they are taking care of their friends, their brothers, their teachers. They're just pure in nature. So that's something that we learn from children, just to be cheerful givers. And the 10th thing that I learned about children are they are literal students. They are students. So they are depending on someone to teach them the things that they ask. Teach them about the bad things that they may say that they don't have any, real understanding of, because they are pure. They're coming from an innocent place. So children, they are students, and this is why it's so easy to train them in the way they should go, which is what we should be doing. We see what's going on with the schooling. We see what's going on with the system, and I'm not saying everybody can homeschool their child, but with the time that you do have with your child, you do need to check in with their emotions. You do need to check in with how they're feeling, how they're looking, and different things like that. And this is it's more personal to where parents have to do their own work as well to get the hurt and the pain out of their lives so they can focus on their children. For the most part, the 10 things that I learned about children, they are innocent. They're pure. They ask questions. They know how to guard their heart. They know how to guard their spirit. They know how to stay close to their protector no matter what. They're not all in everybody's face. They know how to be responsible. Children have boundaries. They have boundaries. They have wisdom. They know how to speak respectful. They know how to have a good time no matter what time it is. Children are just going to be children. We need to learn what it was where we got messed up in our childhood. That way we can show more love to the children that do deserve it. They deserve it. We are grown, but somewhere in us there's still that inner child, and that is what the Lord wants us to come out. He wants to bring that inner child of us out so he can teach us now how to live and how to be happy and how to be free and how to trust him again. The Lord said we will not enter in lest we be transferred into little children. He wants our mind to trust him with everything. So he wants us, so we need to be looking at these children, learning from these children, because they are the perfect example of purity. They are the perfect example of what the Lord is looking for, how, for us to be happy, to rely on him, to trust him, to have him close, to be our guardian, our protector. So if you have any more advice about things that you learned about children, leave that below in the comment section. And thank you for stopping by for part 11. I will see you back in part 12.